Hello, citizens of YouTube land.
Hey.
It's your president and your VP back once again on a Saturday, so you know what that means. It's time for another episode of Scooby Doo Saturday. And this time we're covering Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase.
Yep. This was the fourth and last film in the Scooby-Doo Luke animated films, which consisted of Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, Scooby-Doo and the Witches Go, Scooby-Doo Alien Invaders, and Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase.
It stars the usual suspects of Frank Welker, Gray Delisle, and Mindy Cohen.
No, it doesn't star Mindy Cohen as...
She's not in this one?
Velma. No, she didn't come until What's the New Scooby-Doo. It actually stars B.J. Ward as Velma.
Ah, I thought she was in it.
Nope.
My mistake, guys. But I will say that there's one main gripe that I got to get out of the way here. Okay? At this point in the Scooby-Doo franchise history, Casey Kasem was not involved with Scooby-Doo. So they got a voice impersonator, basically, by the name of Scott Innes, who voices both Scooby-Doo and Shaggy in this one.
Okay. We always put out when the release date was, which was October 9th, 2001, and the director was Jim Steinstrom. I actually can't pronounce his last name that well.
Jim Steinstrom.
Steinstrom. Okay, there we go.
And what's the Rotten Tomato score on it?
60%, but that's because they don't know what a good Scooby-Doo movie is.
Yeah, I would say that it probably, as far as Rotten Tomatoes goes, now we don't take any stock in that. You guys know this. If you've seen some of our other videos, we've been highly critical of Rotten Tomatoes. I will say this, that as far as that goes, it probably ranks quite a bit higher than some of the other Scooby-Doo outings out there in the made-for-video market.
Yeah.
So, this one concerns the Mystery Incorporated gang going to a computer lab where there's a video game being made about their exploits.
Yeah, I will also point out that in the same year of 2001, there was a PlayStation exclusive only game called Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase that also came out as a tie-in game, but it really wasn't that good as it was basically a rehash of Crash Bandicoot 3. Basically.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but a little while later in the PlayStation 2 era of video game consoles, which we've covered the PlayStation 2 itself on here, they would then come out with another Scooby-Doo game called Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, which that one is just so much better.
It's a very fun one.
Yeah, just play that one instead. Don't play Cyber Chase, play Night of 100 Frights.
Like I said, guys, they go to a computer lab. They've told the professor and his assistant who've developed this game about their exploits, and they talk about Iron Face and the Tar Monster, and just a whole host of classic Scooby-Doo villains.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
The Gator dude. You also
Gator
have
Ghoul.
Yeah, and you have the Creeper, one of the more famous Scooby-Doo villains.
Yeah, wasn't he in like the first or second episode? The Creeper.
He was in the first episode.
And then it was the Black Knight, right?
It was the Black Knight, and then it was the Creeper.
Okay.
Sadly, we didn't have the Black Knight, but it would have been cool to
We might
see
do
him.
some individual episodes of the classic Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, if you guys are into that, too. I believe it's available on Boomerang.
It is.
So we might do that in the near future when we finally run out of Scooby-Doo movies to do, which is going to take a while because they're still pretty much cranking them out to this day.
Yeah. In fact, there's a new one coming out soon called Scooby-Doo, the Sword and the Stone.
So, oh boy. That sounds like it's like the Sorcerer in the Stone or something. Or maybe it's like King Arthur or something. That one might be kind of interesting. We're getting a little off topic though.
Sorry. Yeah.
As I said, they
Don't forget the guard scene where Scooby Doo's
yes, I'm
imitating the
getting
guard.
to it. I'm getting to it.
Okay.
So they arrive and they meet up with this guard, and this is probably the funniest bit in the movie. I mean, it gets me every time. Uh, the guards admonishing the gang for being there, and he's like, "This is my university," and Scooby. He procures the guard's hat, and he's basically doing a spot-on imitation of the guard.
Yeah.
And it's super hilarious. You will laugh, 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 laugh if you have an immature sense of humor like I
It's
do.
already out.
Okay. So
All right.
they're being shown the game, and there's this cyber ghost that shows up and kind of wrecks things a little bit.
It's a cyber virus, Dad. Get it right.
Well, okay, a cyber virus. It should be pointed out that there's this other kid there who's really heavy into baseball.
He basically gives himself away.
Super heavy into baseball.
By the way, he's the villain. He gives himself away.
Yeah.
His name is Billy.
He gives himself away. And
the mystery isn't really that engaging because he literally just gives himself away.
there are probably 10 baseball references in this
There's
little short. Well, I was just going by like basically the beginning too, where he's talking about baseball. Yeah. That could be considered one.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's about 10 baseball references. But guys, they have to go through these levels where they're kind of engineered towards the original villains, and then they have to face off with their cyber selves, by the way, that they meet in Cyberland. And they have to defeat the villains, and then they do so, and they manage to defeat the computer virus by completing the game. And of course, it had turned out to be the assistant. Now,
Billy, not the other assistant. You gotta remember that. Though.
Yeah, the animation's pretty decent for the year that it is. There is some questionable CGI, but that's to be expected for the year 2001. So, kind of look past that. It is a very fun movie.
Even though that was the year that Finding Nemo came out.
Well, little kids are definitely going to enjoy it because it's a very fun movie for that specific purpose.
Yeah. And it was also part of the trend where these movies kept getting lighter in tone because of
a certain other movie that's part of this 4-pack trilogy or 4-pack Scooby-Doo universe movie.
Yeah, we're going to get to that soon.
We will eventually.
Month of Halloween Horror. Check it out. 2-part episode.
The voice acting's pretty top notch, but like I said, one drawback is Scott Innes. I don't think he's nearly as talented as Casey Kasem. He does a decent job. I can't say anything more about that other than it's decent. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's just decent.
Yeah.
So it does knock me down a little bit for the fact that it wasn't Casey Kasem doing Shaggy.
I give it, like, from my final rating, the reason why I don't give it a perfect 5 out of 5, which I generally do for Scooby-Doo movies because I find them really entertaining, but this one, I knock it down for one specific reason, and it was the fact that the mystery just wasn't as engaging as the other 3 films we'll find on this movie list that we're going to cover. Well, maybe Alien Invaders too, because Alien Invaders, they also their mystery kind of just comes to a halt as well after.
Yeah, but when we get to that, we'll explain about everything there.
Yeah.
I give this one 4.5 out of 5. What say you?
Also a 4.5 out of 5. Specifically, that the mystery just wasn't as engaging. Scott Innes was actually really good as Shaggy. I feel like, he does a perfect
that's
voice
where
for Billy West because before Scott Innes got the job, it was Billy West voicing Shaggy, which, gosh, if you've watched any episode of Futurama, you would know who Billy West is.
Yeah. that's where we disagree, though. You think he did really well. I think he just kind of did decent. And that's what knocks it down for me. Is that for me, when I go back and look at these older Scooby Doo movies, I'm expecting Casey Kasem.
Or Matthew Lillard.
Well, now the newer ones, of course. But of course, if you've seen Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase, and you think it's the worst Scooby Doo animated film out there, well, you're wrong. It is definitely not. There's going to be some that we're going to cover in the near future that are going to be far, far, far worse, and we'll get to them. But hey, just remember, as always, we're just two idiots with a cell phone camera. Our opinions do not matter, except they actually do, because we have a YouTube show, except they actually don't. So, having said that, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow, where it's going to be the next episode of Lifetime Movies, A Dude's Perspective.
No One Would Tell remake.
Exactly. And then I'll finally get the Lifetime Movie Club back for the kids so we can get into even more the craziest ones out there. And that's the ones we're really going to try to look at for you guys and give you guys our perspective on them. Because let's face it, guys, if you haven't noticed, Lifetime is a good place for low-budget thriller and schlock horror films. It is. So we'll see you guys next time when it comes to that. And as always, one more thing. Peace and love from Denny and Son. Bye.